many Deborahs do we have? How many Deborahs, how many of you are willing to stand up and fight and say, this far and no further? And I promise you, when they get finished killing the black folk, don't think white folk are safe, because they're bloodthirsty. They're coming for you. That's why they've been willing to sacrifice so many Caucasian babies on the altar of abortion so that they could get to the black babies. We have to stop the death. And we have to fight it differently. And I appreciate the march. I got to see what abortion is in Cleveland. I can tell you that I'm angry. I can tell you that I'm sad. I can tell you that I don't know what I am right now. I don't know. But I know we've got to do something different. We don't have another 45 years.
That's right.
To allow organizations like Preterm to continue killing babies.
That's right.
So I said, let's find something new. Now you have the Attorney General candidate here who talked to us, and he's pro-life. Elect that brother and then hold him accountable. Get them to start prosecuting preterm committed murder.
Yep.
And they should have been charged with murder. Let's start enforcing the laws that are on the books. The state of Ohio went into preterm and found pages of violations.
Yeah.
And they turned a blind eye. It's time to hold our elected officials accountable.
Yeah.
They come to you in an election cycle and they tell you they're pro-life and we're so nice and we believe them and we vote for them, and then they do nothing. We don't need more laws. We need law enforcement. Enforce the laws that are on the books. So the Attorney General came here today, candidate, and he said before us, and he told the story of his wife being adopted, and he said, I'm with you, and he wants to change some laws. Let's make that happen. Some of you need to run for office.
All right. Amen.
If the people, for too long we relied on a certain party, and we've treated them as if they had that R behind their name, that meant they were, believers in pro-life. And that's just not true.
Yeah, right.
And they show us every time, every election cycle, they come and they make promises, and then they break the promises, and then they come back and they say, oh, we couldn't make it happen, and they have all kinds of excuses. And so we trust them again, and we send them back to their office, and they still don't do anything, and then they come back to us and they say, but I'm really with you, if you just let me go back one more time. No, enough. Enough. So some of you should run for office. Like this beautiful young lady right here. You look like you could be a fighter. Just run for office. And let's change some things. Let's make 2018 the beginning of the end for legalized abortion. So when I go to Washington on May 15th, I'm going to take petitions. I will be putting petitions up on a website called EnoughTheBattleIsReal.org. EnoughTheBattleIsReal, all one word, .org. In the next week or so, there will be a website up. Sign the petition. And then go find some chocolate people like me and tell them, sign this petition. And then join me in Washington, and I'm going to request a meeting with the Department of Justice. And you know what? Pray with me, because I want to meet Donald Trump. That brother on the campaign trail told African Americans that give him a chance. He was going to do more for us than anybody and did. So I want to go hold him to his word. You said it, start here. Defund Planned Parenthood. Start there. Matter of fact, you don't even have to do that. Tweet. You so Twitter hungry. Tweet out. I'm going to meet with Catherine Davis of the Restoration Project. Just tweet it. So the fear of God can fall on Planned Parenthood because they know who I am. And I'm going to tell you the honest to God truth. I have a lot of black women who partner with me in this effort. Darlene is one of them. Alveda King is another one. Star Parker, Day Gardner, Zena Hackworth, Connie Eller. I mean, I could give you a list as long as us, right? And they will attack Star. They will attack Alveda. They love attacking Alveda. They'll attack Darlene, but you know what? I've yet to have them come and try to attack me. Because they know. When I throw a punch, I throw a win. And I'm not playing, and it's time to say enough. Will you guys say enough with me?
Enough.
How many of you know at least one black person? You know at least one, right? Will you tell them what I said today? Will you get a copy of my Alpha 21 and give it to them so that they can see with their own brown eyes or blue eyes or green eyes or whatever color their eyes may be? Will you get a copy of my book, The Fight for Life, Turning the Wounded into Warriors, where I walk you through the Dred Scott case, the Plessy case, the Griswold v. Connecticut case, the Buck v. Bell case, the Roe v. Wade case, the Eisenstadt v. Baird case, the Hellerstedt case. You know what? The Supreme Court of this United States is the most skin-color denying, rights denying entity in the country. It's never been the legislature. It's been the Supreme Court. When Dred Scott wanted to be free in Missouri, they told him he wasn't a person, right? When Plessy versus Ferguson was decided, they said, well, you might be equal, but you're going to be separate. And for 99 years, we have separate but equal. For 99 years, I couldn't have sat in here with you today and ate that soup, which was delicious, and the chili, which was just off the hook good, because of the color of my skin. I couldn't have used the restroom here with you because of separate but equal, it said that I could. When John Lewis was getting clocked on the head on the Pettus Bridge because he wanted voting rights, right? Alan Guttmacher, who was then the head of Planned Parenthood, was working cases through the court to tear down the laws that forbade contraception. See, it used to be illegal in America to contracept. It was considered murder. Doctors who gave women contraception were arrested and charged with felonies and put in jail. And so they had to do away with those laws. Alan Guttmacher led the charge. And Richard Nixon became the president, and he was a population control enthusiast, and he was the one that said that Michigan and Colorado were going to vote for abortion because what they knew was that it was the little black bastards who were going to be killed. Richard Nixon, president of the United States. The very next year, we got Roe v. Wade.
Wow.
In that environment. So we have to do something differently. Will you join me? Will you help me? Will you help tell the Supreme Court to stop fictionalizing the law and let's come back to what's real? Will you fight with me for life and say enough? Tell a black person, please. Send some black people from Ohio to D.C. on May 15th to stand for me. But tell somebody, let's go out and be deliberate and be as consistent with this message as preterm and Planned Parenthood have been in telling us that black women need abortion. Amen?
Amen.
Thank you so much for allowing
Hallelujah.